Alrighty, we are live. Alright, team. So we didn't do any trading today. Logging on pretty late, just close to the close, just to discuss today's chart. I just did a little bit of review of it myself. It looks pretty good. Looks like it would have been a really nice trading day, but man, I just needed a break. I was very tired this afternoon, and I felt like I'd probably make a mistake. So I don't think I'm going to take a trade here into the close. I just don't feel, I guess, in tune with the market because we haven't been watching it for a while. So, but given that, just a bit of a review since last night. I'm just going to go to the 5-minute candle. Let's bring this up. So got all these levels that we've drawn out previously. This is all the kind of stuff we've been trading. So this was the close last night, and surprisingly, after the reopen, which I didn't think was going to happen, I thought it would just slowly bleed back down to this low, because we were talking about this low quite a lot as a really interesting low to bounce from. But yeah, it continued up, just slowly chipping away. And then this afternoon, coming into the open, so let me just bring in exchange time. So your open is at 9:30, isn't it? Yep, just here. So that's when we got all this volatility, but we started a big move before the open. And then, yeah, then we would have been trading this move essentially. So coming back down to the minute, it's a very nice move to the downside. There's a couple opportunities here, and one that particularly interests me is this downtrend here and the pullback. That would have been a really nice entry here. Although this pullback seems fairly arbitrary, we've got another couple of touch points at that price level that probably indicate to me at the time that looks good. But easy to say retrospectively. However, I've seen those kind of patterns before, and it looks really good to me. Now, when I just logged on, I was looking at this move here, and I was thinking it'd be great to enter along here after this big move down. However, like I said, I just haven't been, I'm not in the zone, like Mark Douglas says. It helps a lot when you sit here and watching the chart for a good hour. You really get a feel of how the market's moving and stuff like that. And I don't typically feel super confident taking a trade from a few minutes of getting on, unless I feel really confident about the trade. Like I've seen the setup before, it's in line with my previous behavior. So yeah. Oh, this looks nice. There's only, it's not much. There's 15 minutes left until the close, so it very well could just move up, and it'll be, a nice little long here, just to pick up, 150, 200 or something like that would be nice. Before I started the stream, I was thinking to enter here, but at being on for like 5 minutes, not having time to recover, and having a losing day within the last few minutes of the market open, it's just not fun. No, I don't want to end the day like that. So it's much better to start, like, say I start the day 3-4 hours before now, which is like we've done most days, and we maybe had a couple of losses or whatever. We got plenty of time to come back from that, which is good. So I like that. Could get real interesting here coming into the close. That was a nice little push down. 14 minutes left. Yeah, it looks pretty heavy to the downside. I don't think we'll bounce from here. We might make a swing to this low. But I was looking at some stats on my dashboard, which I'm really excited to share. On my practice, we meet the funding target. We hit all the objectives. We've got a little pop-up saying, hey, we've met the goal, which is really cool. See, our average winning day here was 1,300. That's awesome. Worst day on the practice, 248. That's incredible. And average losing day of 142. Like, this is exactly what I need to replicate. However, in saying that, now we know that we took some risky trades to get to this point. You know, I guess you could argue that you got to risk to make money, right? And we did well. However, some of the entries we made were very high risk. You know, they were averaging down on trades, going in up to, 150 lots, which is pretty significant. But overall, pretty happy with this performance. We just got to flip it to the live, right? So if we flick over to the trading combine, all right, this is getting the details from here, but you can see, this is our minimum balance is the black one, right? So not long after getting the account open, right? So we had account open, moved down, lost 300, lost 130, got up a little bit, right, to the 50,166. And then we had a big losing day. That was a $1,000 losing day. And then we've just been slowly digging our way out of that, right? And the last good day that we had was the 850 on this account. And we're just above the day 3 performance, right? So really, if I was reviewing this account for a live account, I'd really like to see some consistent profits now moving up. Yes, a couple little drawdowns, but I think if they see another $1,000 losing day, they'd be like, oh no, sorry, we're not going to fund you. And I think that's fair. We can't keep pulling off. You can't hit max loss several times. I don't think that's I don't think that's a good representation of a good trader. And let's see if we don't do that. We've kind of somewhat proven we can, right? On the practice, we've shown that we can do it. So let's hope we can. No, that was an interesting rebound. I definitely didn't think it was going to do that. 10 minutes left on this session, so you got some divergence here, RSI versus price. We've talked about that a lot. You know what? It would be drawn this way. And yeah, that does make sense. So yeah, probably prime for a short based on that indication. Now we've talked about that a fair bit. Talk about the validity of it as well. I don't necessarily think that it's super strong indicator or technical analysis, if you want to call it that, right? But it'd be really cool just to keep paying attention to it as we have, and it's been right every time when we look at those divergences, and they do appear on the chart. So it definitely doesn't mean that the move's going to happen straight away. So because you got to pay attention to the price action and the levels that we're moving from at the same time. So I guess it just helps with confluence, right? Just looking actually on the chart here, you can see that we're getting these higher highs on RSI, but then we were getting these higher lows on the chart for a turnaround. Could be another indication of that, right? So we're getting towards the end of this, well, we're exhausting this move. I guess maybe that's the way you could phrase it, right? And then you add in the fact that you've drawn out these levels before, and you say, hey, this level's significant for a bounce. Then you put those two things together, watch price action, and see how you go. You can see how you could have got shaken out of this trade. So say you entered here, you got a nice push up, and then it fell down pretty rapidly. So definitely could have shaken you out. We're not going to be streaming for very long. It's going to be a very short stream tonight. Other 8 minutes left. Let's watch how this happens. But overall, man, I think we're in a good spot. And I think it's really important to listen to your body. It's really, really important. Feeling tired. Need to have another early night. Not last night, didn't end up being an early night. Talking to my family late into the night. So you do a few of those nights and it just compounds. So it's obviously important to share those times with the people you care about. And especially when I'm living overseas at the moment. So that's why I wanted to take that time and give it to them. Be really cool to see like a big move unfold in the last few minutes. Be really cool. It's just been, looking back at this price action, it looks like it's been a fairly slow bleed down. Some of these moves would have been a little bit frustrating to hold through, except for these big ones, obviously. But then you've got these nice, like reasonable sized pullbacks. We talked a little bit about the RSI just being a good indicator, and we talked a little bit about how it doesn't work on all market conditions, right? And I was talking about the other day in regards to using it as an algorithmic trading bot, for example. It's a very simple indicator, and you would have looked on YouTube, you'll see thousands of videos. 90% accuracy, RSI, simple indicator, but it's not that simple. It's really not that simple. There's a lot more to it. Here we go. So it'd be pretty cool if we flush these lows. Just be awesome to see. Love to enter a trade, but I'm going to hold myself off from doing it, I think. Yeah, it'd be sweet to enter a short right now. Maybe on one extra candle up. Because it's pretty risky after this big move to the downside. But it's also interesting is that you've got a lot of people flipping short on the tilt indicator. I did see that was the other way around before. The S&P is looking long at 71%. That's pretty interesting. Let's have a look at that. We know it's Mez, right? So, yeah, this looks a lot more interesting, doesn't it? For a long move. Yeah, it'd be cool to see if it came after close. Reopen, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna have an early night. There's only 3 minutes left. Jeez, time flies past, doesn't it? MQ looks good. Yeah, let's just say theoretically we entered a short. Now let's just pretend to put that in. Our stop loss is here, and we're looking for just a quick scalp. About half of that. Is that 50 pips, that move? From there to there? Huh, yeah. Yeah, your scale gets thrown off a little bit when you have not been looking at the chart for a little bit. So this whole move here is probably 500. Oh, okay, yeah, I was very wrong. 1,187. So I hope some people made bank on that trade. That's a nice trade, that one. Very nice. Can you imagine, man? What a move. What a move. Very cool. Yeah, definitely would have been a really nice session if I was feeling up to it. Cool, so we're in this fake trade. Let's just see. We'll just be interested to see how it turns out. We've only got 2 minutes left. Still looks good for that divergence, which is not super clear on the RSI. I mean, sorry, on the actual chart itself. It's kind of muddled in these moves. We kind of used it like that before, so let's see. Let's see if it got us into, you know, $50 odd in profit or $100 in profit. Would be pretty cool. Minute left in the close. Oh my goodness, speak. Too tired. There's a minute left until we're closed. Excuse me. I think at the least we should get back down to this level. Yeah, so we're basically closed. We haven't been told by Topset yet, but it should tell us in a sec. And it would force quit this trade and basically break even. Should tell us in a moment. Markets are closed. There you go. Would have been like a $5 profit or something, $2.50, depending on the lot size. We would have probably had just 5 in on that. But yeah, I'll leave it there because it'd be interesting to see what happens after the close, and we'll just, yeah, I think that target's reasonable. So halfway down. Remember yesterday, we actually got a really similar move towards the close, right? Like we got this build up. So it came down, found a low, which I think we took a trade on, right? Pumped back up and it consolidated. We got chopped up in the consolidation a little bit, lost a couple of trades, wasn't real big. We flipped and flopped a little bit. And, you know, it's good to recognize that those are the trades we don't want to be in, right? But also really good that we didn't risk a lot, so it was fine. But we had this exhaustion candle down that came about halfway, and then it pumped back up, and then it moved up, and it finished up nice and high on the other side of the close there. So that was a good end, a really good end to the market. I think it was this exact move, right? It's consolidation here, exhaustion, pump, and we got in this part right here. That's where we got in, and we exited like up here somewhere, at the top of this range. So I said, hey, we're gonna get here at least, and we did. So it's a win. It was another good example, which we've spoken about before, is you know, trailing that stop. So just banging that stop super tight here, and just let it ride up. You know, so definitely would have been a good one to trail, but we'll keep an eye on those trails and see what other options we can do with those. So I'd like to try and implement it into my trading. Looks like it might be a good trade if that's how it would have worked out. So, but obviously we can't be in it. We couldn't have been in it. It would have been stopped out. So because of the market close. So anyway, very short session. Good little review there, and I'm really glad that we've hit our target on the practice account. Made just over 10,000 on that account. We only needed to make 9,000, and we hit the consistency targets. So that's huge. It's a huge win, and we just need to repeat that on the 50k account. So onwards and upwards. So we're at 50,267, very slightly over the starting balance, and we're a week in, right? So that's slow going. We've dug ourselves out of a few holes, right? Here we go. That RSI divergence, you know, that we talked about, might be fulfilling the prophecy here, and the magic doodles on the chart. But yeah, I think at least you would get to this level, and in a ideal world, I'd like to see a larger move to the downside here before making the recovery. Be pretty cool to see that. Anyway, won't make you watch this. We will let this cook overnight, and we'll come back refreshed tomorrow for our trading session. It's 10:14 here. Let's get some dinner, and we'll get to bed hopefully by 11:30. Hey, get it done. Alright, just make sure the stream's caught up, and we'll end the stream. I need to make like a stream ending screen and all that kind of stuff. Would be cool to do, so I might do that on the weekend or something. Also, it'd be really cool to do some Twitch streams, because we might get a little bit more exposure that way. Now we've pulled off a bit over a week of streaming, so cool. It's basically caught up, which is awesome. Alrighty, team. Take it easy. Hope you have a wonderful night. And thanks for joining me again. We'll see you tomorrow for a full... Let's try and do 4 hours tomorrow. Let's get it done on a full session and see how we go. See if we can smash over 1,000 in profit. It'd be great to do that. So there'll be a nice little target for tomorrow. I think we'll get some good moves coming into the weekend. So, although this would have been a nice session to trade. So, all right, peace out.